Now, former Police Commissioner Kgomotso Phahlane is back in court this morning. He and his co-accused are facing fraud and corruption charges, all relating to police tenders worth around 54 million rand. The former police boss maintains he's innocent, claiming it's a smear campaign against him. But our reporter Heidi Giokos is following this story, and she joins us live for an update. Heidi, a very warm good morning to you. What can you tell us about the latest on this case?
Yes, indeed. We are here in Pretoria at the crimes courts, and this is all linked to a tender corruption case, specifically involving the former police commissioner Kgomotso Phahlane. But I think let's get some more perspective, as we do know that this matter has once again been postponed to the 4th of August. There was some irritation once again, Tumelo, something that we saw in court yesterday as well, with a separate matter, a Transnet matter. But the accused legal team are indicating that they are being given documentation at the very last minute. We are joined by Sindisiwe Siboka from the Investigating Directorate. Thank you so much for your time. You were in court with us, and obviously you do know that there was some pushback from the accused legal team in terms of documentation that was given at the very last minute. 400 gigabytes or something of information and documentation given at the last minute. Is that the case? And if so, why was that documentation given at the last minute?
For starters, to clarify, you would have heard in court that the matter was enrolled last year in September, and full disclosure did in fact take place from our end. So through studying of the contents of the docket, so one of the accused legal representative told court that's when they discovered that there was missing documentation or missing files. So what we can say in terms of that documentary evidence in which they're speaking about, it relates to cell phone records that were downloaded when the accused cell phones were taken. So it was basically conversations between the various accused that form part and parcel of those things that we couldn't provide to them timeously. However, they have been provided to them. They've also now raised the issue of wanting to bring a Section 342A application. When they do bring it on the 4th of August, actually prior or by the 21st, when they've submitted the full detailed application, we'll study it and respond to it line by line.
There's also an indication that an application wants to be brought forward for the matter to be struck off the roll, especially because of the number of delays. This would obviously not be in favour of the Investigating Directorate, given the investigations that have been happening since 2016. How will you take an application like that? We obviously haven't heard it yet. It hasn't been brought before courts, but that obviously won't be good news for the ID.
No, rightfully so. But I think what we must actually focus on is that for each and every court appearance, we must take it from court to court appearance. So currently, the next step would be for them to bring the 342A, which they've made an indication to court that they plan to bring. They'll file by the 21st for us to respond. But in terms of the struck-off application, it takes a lot. You need to mount a case. You need to bring evidence as to when these particular delays happen. Are these delays prejudicial? And if they're prejudicial, to what extent did the other party was at fault? So looking at the timelines, the matter was only enrolled on in September 2022. We are we're in 2023 now. It hasn't even been a full year since the matter was on the roll. So looking at the timelines, they currently do not have a case. But for the 342A, we'll definitely make sure that we respond to that application.
And just lastly, is there an acknowledgement from the Investigating Directorate that there is obviously delays? Obviously, there needs to be further documentation handed over. All accused legal teams need to have access to this information. But the accused indicated that this is unacceptable, and they feel that this is a trend that is continuing. Is there an acknowledgement that there are delays? I don't know if it's willingly or unwillingly, but is there an acknowledgement that this is obviously causing some sort of delay?
There is no acknowledgement from the Investigating Directorate that there are delays, and it's for the presiding magistrate to listen to the application 342A, which is an unreasonable delay application. So once we've responded to that, it's for the presiding magistrate to then make that call. If the magistrate believes that there was a delay, he'll then direct what needs to happen further. But from our side, there is no such acknowledgement.
Okay. Do you feel you have a strong case?
We have a case, and we have a case for the accused to actually respond to, and we'll leave it at that.
A strong one, though?
we have a case.
Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. That is Sinisiwe Siboka from the Investigating Directorate. And as I mentioned, the matter is back in court on the 4th of August. There have been indications of a number of applications, two specifically, and the one being a possible indication of an application to have the matter struck off the roll because of the delays. But the Investigating Directorate has, of course, explained why there have been these delays, and this information has been further given to all accused legal teams involved.
Thank you so much, Heidi, for this update. Heidi Giokos out for us. We're former Police Commissioner Kgomotso Phahlane, of course, heading back into court. Seeing that case, of course, back in court.